Welcome back, lads, to another Dauntless video. And yes, I know what you're going to say, damn, Average T's uploading a video after a damn month. Yes, I understand, but recently I got a new job and I haven't been able to even play games really at all. And when I do, I've just played a bit of Call of Duty and I just really haven't been wanting to make content because I've felt so burnt out from work. So yeah, I do apologise for that, but obviously life comes first. But yes, today I've managed to make some time to make a video, and I've got some plans for the upcoming weeks for content. I'm a bit behind the other content creators. Actually, I'm really far behind the other content creators. Since I last played the game, Omni cells have been added, heroic escalations, changes, a lot of changes to the weapons, cells have been changed as well. Yesterday I played this for about 3 hours, just trying to get used to obviously the new cells. Well, not the new cells, the new way Dauntless plays in terms of how the cells have changed about, and just having a little go on the heroic escalation, which by the way is, oh my god, it is the most challenging piece of content I've played in Dauntless for a very long time, if not the most challenging. I think it is probably harder than the first time I tried clearing a Dauntless trial, to be honest, in my opinion. And I've only killed TORGADORO heroic once, and that's in this video. I think it is because I was trying to clear it with chain blades, and the chain blades I'm wearing right now are the boreus ones. I haven't got the Urska ones at the moment, and I couldn't be bothered to grind for them, so I do apologise for the lengthy video. But yeah, if you do want to know what build I'm using, just out of curiosity, I will link it in the comment section below. I shall pin it for you, because this isn't a build video as such. But yes, this video is just going to outline just a couple of things. First things first, talking about the heroic escalation and how I think it is probably one of the best things to happen to the game so far. A lot of people have wanted this for a long time. It does bring back two things. One thing for the old players, it's really nostalgic. It's the fact that you actually can't defeat a monster just by stagger locking it like 20 million times and then insta killing it without it actually making a move on you. And then obviously for the newer fan base of the game, they are probably finding this piece of content very challenging and probably not even clearing it, to be honest. I've been playing this game for probably about 2 years, and I struggle with this heroic escalation. Like, trust me, like I've only cleared it once. I think the blaze escalation is the hardest one anyway in general. And I think, yeah, it's nice to have a piece of content which is really challenging besides trials. And yeah, I'm glad that they've brought this in, and I like the fact that it is on a weekly basis. But in regards to content and heroic escalations, I'm going to try and bring out build guides just like I used to with the trials, but for heroic escalations each week. If I've got time, I will go back to doing the trials guides as well. I will just see how much time I do have on my hands, but the main focus will probably be the heroic escalations, because it is the newest piece of content which has released from Dauntless. But yes, I am intrigued on what you guys think of the new heroic escalations, and how are you finding the blaze escalation this week? I know reset is in less than 22 hours, but regardless, I wanted to know how you guys thought about this week's heroic escalation release. And to be honest, like I said, it is probably the hardest escalation out there anyway, just because of the poor amps you get with it. But if you have found a nice easy way to clear it, please let me know, because next time it comes around, I don't want to be struggling this much. I think it is generally just because I haven't got a lot of Urska weapons, only like the strikers and the hammer, and I just couldn't keep Predator up as much as I could. So that's obviously why I've opted for the chain blades. But yeah, regardless, I'm going off topic here. This video is just, to be fair, just a casual little talk to you guys. But regardless, moving on to, let's say, the meta and how things have changed, like how there's no half-life, for instance. Let's start off with that. I come back, obviously, I looked at the new discipline Omni cell, and I was like, okay, it's going to give me half health. No, it doesn't do that. And it doesn't really do anything like the old discipline does, actually. It gives you extra crit boost, extra critical strike or something like that on tap. The tap from the Omni cells have replaced the lantern taps, which I don't know if I like or not. I don't think I do, because I think the Ember Mains tap and the Dras tack was really nice. Even though them ones were probably used the most, I think that's another reason why they opted to change the taps onto the Omni cell, just because I guess a lot of the other lanterns weren't getting as much love as the others, so I think they were trying to balance out the lanterns, I think. But regardless, I'm not too keen on the change, but I think I do understand why they've done it. Oh, here you go. This actually really annoyed me. He literally blocks me. Look at this. Old Stormy boy blocking me in like this. Absolutely BS. But yeah, I do manage to get the boop on him. Nice, but it doesn't matter because you're going to see what's going to happen in just a moment. But yes, no half-life. I actually like the fact there was no half-life. I did call this a long time ago. I said if they brought out, if they got rid of the discipline cell from dropping you down to half health, I think it would attract a lot more players, or it would entice old players to come back because it is a real unique thing. Because we are so used to running half-life builds with the Iceborne, or just having in general a lot of damage running at half health, especially the speedrunners and trials. I think having this is just a whole new mechanic to the game. It just brings back the old style of Dauntless. But yeah, that's going to go on to my question of the day. Actually, I'm going to start putting questions of the day in my videos if I can remember. So we're going to start off with this one, and the question of the day today will be, did you guys prefer the lantern taps, obviously from the old Dauntless, or replacing them with the taps from the Omnicells? Me personally, I think I'm a bit torn still. I do like the Omnicell taps. I think they're really cool, especially the Iceborne one actually. I think the way Iceborne runs now is really nice. It's not OP. You can't just sit there spamming attacks as you used to. I guess you can on the maybe 10 to 50. I did try it out, but it's nowhere near as good as the old Iceborne, so I'm happy about that. Plus, you don't need to be at half health for Iceborne to be active, so it's a nice change. Plus, it does mean you can't use your tap ability, so it does sort of like even it out and make it a bit more not OP as it was previously. But also, moving on to the weapon changes and the cell changes actually. For instance, the Wild Frenzy changing, not being Wild Frenzy not actually being into the game at all now. One of the most used cells in, let's say, the old meta has been removed, and I understand why they've removed it, because like I said, no half health means no Wild Frenzy anyway. Maybe they could have kept Wild Frenzy just to be at full health, and then lower the attack speed, but no, they've opted for a similar tactic with Wild Frenzy, but instead of it running the same as Wild Frenzy, you need to break apart. I forgot the cell, but it is when you break apart or you assist in breaking apart, which is really nice. You gain attack speed. That's also a technique slot, so that is the replacement for Wild Frenzy. I do quite like this. It does, like I said, it does even out the game, making you not be able to go too fast and making your Slayer overpowered. Like I said, this along with like the Iceborne changes, it's just making the game feel a lot more balanced, and to be honest, just making the game challenging in general. Another change we had was the Rage cell. Obviously, Rage was only active when you were at half health and you gained attack damage, based on how much stack of Rage you had. Now Rage has changed. It's like it's based on a timer, so every time you get hit within that timer, it gives you more attack damage for a certain amount of time, which is really nice. Once again, not relying on that half health mechanism. Just if you get hit, then obviously you can use the Rage. So I still think Rage and Iceborne are still quite a nice pairing as before, but just obviously not as overpowered. So like I said, the Iceborne in general and the Rage, let's say nerfs. I want to say nerfs, yeah. Iceborne has been nerfed, in my opinion, yes. And Rage has 100% been nerfed. The good thing about these tweaks, changes, nerfs, whatever you want to call it, is that it makes way for players to actually use other perks which are never really utilised. Example being obviously the Evasive Fury. No one ever chose that over Wild Frenzy just because more than likely you were running Half-Life in the past, and Evasive Fury meant you had to also dodge a behemoth's attack. But now people would probably be thinking, do we run Evasive Fury if we want to run a Predator build? Because obviously if we're trying to dodge attacks, Evasive Fury will actually help you gain attack speed straight away. Like there's so much more things to think about now, not just okay, I'm going to put Discipline on, add Rage, add Iceborne, and just tank everything and then just go forward. I think a lot of players are definitely going to struggle with Dauntless now, and I think people are going to actually complain quite a lot about how difficult this was, difficult the new content is, especially the Heroic Escalation. Like I said before, this has been the most challenging content I've had since Blaze Escalation was released in the past. Like I didn't struggle with any of the other escalations really. Maybe Agaris was kind of a pain when I first fought him because the poison kept killing me. But yeah, Blaze Escalation definitely upped the ante in difficulty, and with all of these changes, it just made the game really hard. Well, in comparison to what it was before. And yeah, people are either going to really love it or really hate it. Coming from a Monster Hunter background, having to fight monsters for longer is actually a blessing, and I'd rather that because I'm more immersed into the game and not just, right, okay, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to get my strikers and be like, right, stagger, break part, overpower, break, stagger, overpower, break, then dead. So I'm really happy for these changes, and to be honest, it's enticing me to want to make videos now because there's more content obviously which I can release, and I'm going to probably have more fun in doing it. Yes, I'm going to probably rage more than what I already do, but that is just me obviously enjoying the game, even though I am raging. But regardless, Phoenix Labs, well done on the changes to the perks. Definitely 100% I am in full vote of these changes. So moving on to the last point, and that being, what does this have to do for the future of Dauntless? And obviously this is all speculation, this is all my thoughts, my opinion. Someone who's played the game, as I've already said, for pretty much the majority of the whole lifespan of the game. I've played beta, I stopped for a year, came back, and I've played pretty much ever since. Obviously had breaks in between like most players. But yeah, I've played pretty much most updates, and I understand, I've always known the meta, etc. So I want to say my opinion is somewhat valid. Me trying to make sure my opinion makes somewhat sense. But yeah, I'm happy on how the direction of Dauntless is going, and I think if it carries on similarly to what it's going now, I think especially the old player base will either return or continue playing, even if it is just to go for the trials or try and do the heroic escalations. I think they need to definitely think about adding more content after they've done a couple of cycles of the heroic escalations, because that will get boring after a while. But I think content like this is really good for the game, especially the longevity of the game, because people obviously return each and every week. The heroic escalations are pretty challenging, so it will take a while to actually beat, unless you've got a strong squad. Trying to solo these are pretty difficult in my opinion. Obviously I didn't try last week's one, which was the Shock, I believe. I'm pretty sure next week's going to be the Umbral, or is it Terra? I'm pretty sure it's going to be Umbral. But yeah, regardless, I'll make my mind up next week on how difficult it is, because I think Blaze Escalation will be the toughest one, because it is the toughest one anyway, just because, like I said before, the perks. But yeah, going off on a tangent and repeating myself, I just want them to definitely release content similar to this in the future. Keep the weapons just as balanced like this in the future as well, so most cells can be utilized. Don't introduce really overpowered meta cells which make the game just boring, makes trials exactly the same, just stagger locking behemoths. Make it a skill gap, make it actually difficult to master, and not just make it really easy. That's just my opinion. Some people like that sort of thing, feeling invincible, but this is obviously my opinion. But I think most people like this sort of Dauntless, in my opinion. But regardless, that's my rant over. That's 13 minutes of just me talking absolute nonsense. I'm going to leave you with the rest of the escalation. I've actually got, how much left? 11 minutes left. So TORGADORO was a pain. Hopefully you enjoyed the TORGADORO fight. It actually got my palm sweating like it did the first time I fought him, the first time I killed him. So yeah, once again, Phoenix Labs, well done on creating that moment for me again. I was pretty happy when I killed TORGADORO in this escalation. So yeah, peace. Also, if you are new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. I do post Dauntless content whenever I can. I did say once, 2 to 3 times a week, but recently I just haven't been able to keep up to that quota. So yeah, if you do like this laid back Dauntless content like this, definitely consider subscribing. There's quite a lot of material I want to cover in the future. I need to update all of my old meta builds, because obviously all of them are updated now, so most of my content is outdated, so it's really annoying. But regardless, it means I can make more content, make more build videos for you guys, and yeah, that's it. Hopefully you enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.